Ready to shine inside out? Welcome to Polished Beauty Podcast, where ambition meets empowerment. We talk business, beauty, brain, body. I am your host, Dr. Daisy Ayim, triple board certified cosmetic surgeon and OBGYN. Let's get polished.
Today's guest is a powerhouse of influence and empowerment, award-winning Latina activist, actress, and content creator, Barbara Sanchez, all the way from the West Coast. Known for her collaborations with major studios like Sony and Paramount Pictures, and even Amazon, Barbara is using her platform to advocate for social change, inspire young creatives, and shape cultural narratives. Today's focus is influence beyond the screen, empowerment, activism, and shaping culture. We'll be talking about her journey from content creation to social activism, her work empowering underrepresented voices, and how she balances Hollywood partnerships with purpose-driven initiatives. Barbara, welcome to the show, superstar.
Hi, thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here with you guys today.
Okay, I'm going to kick this off. So, Barbara, the entertainment industry has seen a shift where purpose-driven influencers are no longer the exception, but they are becoming the rule, like yourself. According to a Nielsen report, 74% of consumers now prioritize brands and personalities who advocate for social causes. You've partnered with studios like Sony and Amazon, but still stayed true to your roots in activism. So what inspired you to use your platform as a content creator, not just for entertainment, but for meaningful social change?
I feel like what inspired me to do this and become a content creator and a social media influence is basically making a difference to really make progress in matters like, Black Lives Matter, becoming an ally for important social justice like immigration, things like that are very important to me to be the voice for others who do not have a voice. So I feel like when you become so-called the influencer, you do make a difference on advocating for others who are not as influential, so to speak, and you do become the voice. And I love that part.
It's powerful to see someone like you turning influence into action, and the blend of creativity and purpose is what makes your story so compelling. I know that you've pivoted from public relations back to in front of the camera to really being a brand ambassador and embracing it all. So you're doing a great job. Kudos to you. I'm going to hand it off to Dr. Daisy now.
Hey, Barbara, as someone who has been recognized by Power Magazine and Telemundo for women empowerment, which I love, and leadership, what advice do you have for someone that is striving to lead in a male-dominated field and excelling?
Oh my God, honestly, my biggest advice for people who are trying to pivot into the entertainment and content creation and acting and whatever it is that they're trying to do is just be authentic, be yourself, speak up, don't be silent. If you feel really strongly about something, please say something. I feel like we live in a world where we are afraid to say things because we are amongst like a lot of men who are very dominant in this industry. And I feel like my biggest advice is find yourself a mentor as well. Another woman who you feel is doing the work, who you feel is going to make also a difference in your life, and find the support amongst your peers, find an ally, a man that's going to really advocate for you as well. So that's my biggest advice.
Wow, that's beautiful. I love that. So you've been invited to host many events like Ben Crumb's award and the Young Artists Academy Awards, and that puts you in a lot of spaces where critical society conversations are happening. What drives you to pick such impactful roles or positions?
Ooh, that's a great question. What drives me to actually do those amazing events and award shows is to empower a younger generation of women, younger girls like, 13, 14, 12. I feel like, and it's incredible. I have an audience when it comes to those demographics. A lot of young girls are watching my Instagram, my social media, and I feel it's so empowering for me to be in this position to be able to present such a thing as an award, right? And be in front of other people who are succeeding as well, who are very, very influential and inspirational. And being in front of a camera and being able to say, hey, I came from literally nothing. Now I'm here presenting awards with all these big actors, big people, but that's besides the point. I feel the biggest point I'm doing this is to be able to say, hey, I made it. You can make it too. And for our young girls to be like, hey, you don't have to be, a big celebrity or a big, somebody big or a big person. You can only be influential. You just have to be influential and be in front of a camera and say, I'm making a difference. I'm here to stay. And I think that's powerful for our young girls to see.
That's so powerful. You're 100% right. That's a great question, Dr. Daisy. And representation matters, right? According to the UCLA Hollywood Diversity Report, while progress is happening, only about 5% of lead roles in major films are played by Latinas. What? Yet women like you are breaking barriers and paving the way. So I love it. Now, you've been featured, like Dr. Daisy said, in a lot of magazines, Forbes, Telemundo, but your work in social activism and empowerment is really what stands out. How do you envision yourself creating more opportunities for the next generation of Latina creatives?
That's a great question, Sam. I feel like I'm opening the doors, paving the way for other, minorities like myself to come into the space by being in the space, by doing the work, by being out there marching for social injustice, for things that matter to us, and I feel like that's the way that we open the door for other women to come in and say, hey, I'm able to go in the front of this matter. I'm able to do the work as well, even if it's not necessarily in front of marching or being there physically, but now social media allows us to being able to post something, right? And the next thing you know, it goes everywhere. I mean, social media is such a powerful tool. So I just feel like creating opportunities like that of me, just me being in the space is going to allow for other Latina women in general, just to come in the door and say, hey, I know Barbara. I know she went in the space. I know she opened the door for me. So I can now go and knock on the door and it'll be open.
That's exactly the kind of ripple effect the industry needs. One voice empowering another to create lasting change.
Yeah. So you've won like many Latino Business Award, and you've been celebrated for uplifting underrepresented communities. Can you share a moment with us where your activism made a difference?
Absolutely. Oh my God. Yes. I'm so excited to actually answer this question because I joined the immigration reform, social justice cause back in, I think it was 2018. And we went into marching, we went into signing petitions, we went into a lot of work behind the scenes and on the scenes. And one of the things that we accomplished was, to pass a law for a Dream Act, right? I think it was back in 2018. I don't remember the date. Don't quote me on the date correctly, but it happened several years ago. And we all signed petitions. We all advocated for the cause, and it went into effect. And actually, a lot of people got the Dream Act. So that was incredible to see. And we were super happy that happened. And same thing when Black Lives Matter happened. We went into the marching, we went into signing petitions, we went into prison reform, and a lot of things changed. Of course, we still have a lot of work to do, but a lot of things did change, and I'm very proud of that because our voice did matter, our voice did count, and we were just extremely happy. And just recently, how why I became this content creator and this influencer, so to speak, is because of things that matter, such as a 14-year-old committed suicide recently in Santa Clara High School in the Bay Area. His name is Jose Zamora, and he was teased by his teammates because he was homeless on the football team. So because of that, he ended up killing himself. And as soon as I saw that post, I was so angry. I was very, very disturbed because I'm a mother of a 14-year-old. So that really hit home for me. And as soon as I saw that post, I was like, oh my goodness, I have to share this. I have to contact my journalist friends. My celebrity friends, everybody that's influential, they have to know about this. This has to be known. This has to be heard. So I just went and posted. It started on stories. Then I posted a actual post. The next thing you know, it went everywhere. CBS was covering it, Telemundo. I mean, everybody was talking about it. And that's where I knew that becoming who I became as a content creator and a social media influencer really mattered. I was like, wow.
That's a beautiful story. I love it that you really brought change forth, especially in a world where social media often amplifies the superficial. Content creators like you are proving that influence has so much depth, right? And that the story that you just said brings so much truth to that. If you go back to the statistics, there's a Sprout Social study. It showed that about 71% of consumers are more likely to trust influencers who share causes that they care about. So again, on the right track for connecting with your audience. How do you strike a balance between creating entertaining content for partnerships with studios or brands and still keep your social activism front and center?
That's a great question. I feel like the main thing that I do is prioritizing my time, self care. Mental health is a big one. I have to go to, through therapy and through my support system with friends and people in the space that are very willing to talk to me and give me that mental support that I need. Because as a mother, as an actress, as a content creator, as all these things that we do, we definitely need to find that balance to find the strength to keep going. Every single day is a battle. It's a battle to keep going. I mean, just from starting in the morning to dropping off your kids to putting on makeup to reading scripts to content creation. I mean, everything is such a big, you know, draining. Like it's draining, your mental
It's very draining. It's very draining.
it's drained a lot. So I feel like balancing and prioritizing your time is the most important thing.
You're right. Time management is of the utmost importance. And before I go back to Dr. Daisy, she has some more questions, but I want to talk about storytelling because storytelling is at the heart of what you do, whether it's through acting, content creation, or advocacy. So you're set to play a therapist in an upcoming indie film called Final Desire. How does this role align with your personal mission to share stories that matter?
Oh, Lord, it aligns perfectly. I'll tell you that because I go crazy every single day trying to find the balance like we just talked about on how to manage everything. And so I feel like a lot of my friends are actually therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists. So I feel like it's perfect for me to portray this role since I have a lot of good friends that can actually guide me through it and be like, hey, listen, this is what this is what you're supposed to do. This is how you're supposed to play this role. And I'm deeply excited and it aligns perfectly with my brand because I always been a big advocate for mental health and prioritizing your self-care and being aware and speaking up about, suicide prevention and domestic violence and all those heavy topics that a lot of people are uncomfortable to still talk about till this day.
Yeah. I mean, you've done so much. When I was reading about you, I see that you sponsor or you speak up for farmer workers. They need a voice. You sponsor single family mothers, and families. You're doing amazing work. So when I look at your overall tapestry, I'm like, she's the woman that I want on this podcast. So the podcast theme is where ambition meets empowerment. And I see so many things that are so ambitious and empowerment about you. But what is the one bold thing or bold step that has led you to be where you are at this moment?
I feel like it was my own personal experience as encountering domestic violence myself that led me to this moment of being okay, enough is enough. I cannot be a victim, but rather a survivor. And I feel like that empowered me to be in a position where I wanted other women and other people to feel, because this happens to men as well. So I feel like both need to be empowered to speak up and say, I don't deserve to be treated like this. There's a bigger picture for me. There's a bigger purpose in life. And I just don't deserve this. I deserve bigger and better. So I think that was the biggest part of my life where I realized, Barbara, you have a bigger purpose you're here for a big reason. I don't know. I didn't know at that time what it was, but now I know.
You definitely are. I mean, just the fact that you mentioned that you learned English on your own, I was like, wow, you know,
Yeah, that was
so
tough.
that's, yeah. I mean, but you did it, and you're such a starlight in so many lives and people's vision of what life can be like in America as an immigrant. So kudos to you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Well, we are officially at the end of our date, my friends. Barbara, it's been such a pleasure having you with us today. Your work truly, truly reflects what it means to use influence for impact, and that's inspiring. Dr. Daisy, thank you so much for always being a great wingman and quarterback co-host there.
Absolutely. Barbara, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me, ladies. This was amazing.
For those wanting to follow Barbara's journey, you can find her on the gram at Barbara Sanchez PR, and stay tuned for her upcoming film, Final Desire, where she continues to merge storytelling with purpose. And
I hope you enjoyed this episode, and thank you for listening. Video recording of this episode will be featured on our YouTube channel, Dr. Daisy Ayim. We are also found on Instagram at Polish Beauty Podcast or at Dr. Daisy Ayim. Remember, new episode drop every Wednesday, so stay tuned. Please like, share, follow.